Right, so here we have the new Firefly 8S. This is the first native 4K camera from Firefly. Let's get it out of the case, get it on charge, put in a micro card and see how it performs. Right, well, I've charged the camera now. It did take quite a long while. So what else do you get in this really good package of accessories? The waterproof case looks well made, and they say waterproof up to 20 meters. Only comes with one back, doesn't have a ventilated back, but I used it on a motorbike ride, you'll see in my clip, and I didn't have any problems with the case steaming up. You've got a good range of mounts and standoffs, long ones, short ones, twisted ones, and a J-mount. And if you're not familiar with these kind of mounts, the idea is that they slide into these stick-on mounts that go onto skateboards or helmets or motorcycle helmets or whatever. And as far as that goes, you've also got some straps here so that you can fix it onto a cycle helmet by putting the strap through the loop. You've also got one of these handlebar mounts. Also comes with what's called a backpack clip and a skeleton case. Now the skeleton case is useful for when you don't need it to be in a waterproof case, because of course you'll get sound and better ventilation. Got tripod mounts on it, but also the backpack clip slides in to the back of this mount, and you can clip it onto a rucksack harness if you're walking, or any other strap if you're doing a dry sport. Useful bit of kit. When I'm paragliding, I clip it onto the chin guard of my full face helmet, and it means I can operate it when I'm flying. You've also got a couple of these tripod type mounts, male and female, that you can screw directly onto a tripod if you're using the waterproof case, like so. Got a USB charging lead, cable ties, a lens cleaning cloth. You've got a pretty good manual that's in English and Chinese. It looks very thorough. You've got a couple of little stickers, a card with the QR codes for the app, which I'll come to later. Well, one thing that I've not seen before packaged with accessories is a lens hood, which is supposed to stop lens flare. Lens hood only goes on one way. There are 3 tabs there, and one is wider than the other 2. So it's a question of locating the wide one in the wide slot. Simple as that. That's one thing I've not seen before. Another little gadget that's in with the accessories, something that I've not seen before, is this neck loop, so that you can hang the camera around your neck when you're walking or out and about. And if you want to take it off for any other purpose, you can just press this button and the camera detaches, so you can do what you want with it. Put it on a tripod, put it on a wall, use the timer, take some selfies. Pretty useful bit of kit, really. And of course you clip it back on just by pushing the button like so. You can also buy an optional external mic to use with the Firefly 8S. And out of curiosity, I tried it with the optional mic that's available for the Get 2, and it worked fine actually. So if you wanted to do some motorcycle vlogging and can find a way to feed this into the waterproof case by making a hole and putting a grommet, this could be a good answer. And also available is an optional Bluetooth remote. Now this is actually the remote for the YI cameras, and you can buy these as cheaply as £5 on Amazon, although I couldn't actually manage to pair it when I tried to pair this. It might be a slightly different version of Bluetooth. Well, as usual, the camera doesn't come with a card. 4K camera, I've treated myself to a good quality card, class 10, but with a little 3 there, which means it's got the speed that will deal with 4K. And somewhat unusually, as I've never seen it before anyway, the card in the 8S goes in on the screen side here and goes in logo side towards the end of the camera, just like this. Right, this is the first of a couple of test shots shot at 4K 30 frames a second, which will be rendered at 1080-60 in the big review, but I shall render them separately at 4K in another clip with a link on this. Okay, some good detail here on this brickwork, and as you swing round you've got some distance here down to the harbour, and there's some lovely detail here on the brickwork to test the quality. Right, and this is my other native 4K at 30 frames a second shot, which will also be shot at 1080-60. but the 4K clips will be put on a separate clip, which I will link. And there's some good detail here too on the rigging, on the boats, the windows on the cottages, the colours. Right, and now these clips are at 1080/60, gyro on, 16:9, with the lens hood on. Also recorded as a 4K 30 frames a second and on a separate clip. And there's some good detail here, and in the distance you can see the harbour, and there's some good detail on the brickwork, which I think shows the sharpness from left hand edge of the frame to the right hand edge of the frame. And I always see how well I can read the lettering on the shop signs. And here's the same clip, 1080/60, the gyro is turned on. The audio is from the camera, of course. And these clips are also on at 4K on a separate clip. And there's some noisy motorbikes going across around the harbour. Just remind me, what was your name again?
Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
This is Nick and his most beautiful hornbill that you raised from a chick, didn't you?
Yeah.
Raised from a chick. Cheers, Nick.
You're welcome.
First of 20 or 30 action cameras I've tested lately that has actually come with a purpose-built lens hood, so let's see how well it performs shooting into the sun. And action cameras have wide-angle lenses, so they do often catch a bit of lens flare. Right, another good test shot. Cottage is the other side of the harbour. Some of it's in sun, some of it's in shade, and it's into the sun. And I must say the screen is very good on this. I can actually see it well even in bright sunlight.
Always filled with before, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, lovely. Nice. Enjoy yourselves, darling. Thank you. Captain Pie, right, good. Go away.
And this is my mate Steve Fry, famous musician, cleaning the bottom of his boat, which is called Lazy Days. And it's not exactly lazy if on a Sunday you're working on your boat, is it, Steve? Anyway, testing another camera here. You're going to be famous, you're going to be on YouTube. Unless you have any objections.
No, absolutely not.
Oh well.
Absolutely.
Right, I'll see you later, Steve, anyway. Yep, hands up, hands up.
Hands up.
Do you know what you're doing, Robin?
No. I wouldn't be here if I did.
Right, and just for a change, a different pub for the low light test. As you can see, dark as a dungeon in there.
Yeah.